much for joining us here this morning. We are excited to bring some announcements about our Small Business Resiliency Fund to you. And first up, I would love to invite supervisors and chair of our Board of Supervisors, Hilda Solis, to give opening remarks. Thank you.
Kelly, thank you. Well, you don't have to clap. I know it's a particularly busy day for all of us, and I want to thank you, and I want to thank the media, and especially to the small businesses that are joining us here today, and especially want to thank the Department of Economic Opportunity for announcing the second round of funding for small businesses, named the funding for small businesses. And part of this is because of the harm that has been placed upon us by the Trump administration's ongoing ICE raids and immigration enforcement actions that have caused a lot of stress in our communities. This fund is known as a Small Business Resiliency Fund, was first established through a motion that I led last June. So we knew back then there was going to be a lot of harsh realities and impacts on our small businesses and on our economy. And in response to the wave of raids, when masked men began forcibly removing Angelenos, both residents as well as citizens, people were very scared. And we know that these raids have been ongoing. They have not stopped. They continue today on an even larger scale, spreading fear and uncertainty across many of our communities. And families are in constant fear, as well as their children and employers. Workers, we know, are being torn away from their job sites. People are being snatched from their homes, streets, bus stops, parks, and even their cars. We have witnessed this in the media. We've seen it with our own eyes, and there's no refuting that. These actions not only terrorize our families, but they are having a devastating impact on our small businesses who rely on this workforce that's being impacted. Every worker taken, every family destabilized means that there are fewer employees available to help our small business owners. And we have fewer customers that are showing up because of that fear. And we know that there's a loss of revenue for local businesses who we know are the backbone of many of our communities. We know that. They're the engine. They make up a lot of the economy that goes and is up and roaring every single day. And now that roar is getting smaller. And on top of that, the Trump administration's policies have systematically harmed small businesses, not just here in the county of Los Angeles, but around the country. More importantly, just look at what's happened in Minnesota, Washington State, Oregon, Arizona, and Texas, and Florida even. I also want to say that one thing that we have to remember is this president instituted some major tax cuts, and he said he was going to lift everybody's boat up. Well, guess what? Small business owners and working class families, their boat is sinking right now. SOS. We need to help them. And that's why we're here today, because we know they have been struggling, and I have been receiving many calls throughout the last 2 years to hear about what has happened to many of our owners. And that's why this Resiliency Fund is so important for our small businesses. On top of that, we know that recently the Supreme Court called the tariffs that President Trump put forward as unconstitutional. Tariffs, as we know, equal taxes. So let's make no mistake about it. When products are arriving from overseas, wherever they may be, all of those ingredients and shipment supplies, it's all in our chain supply. It may be now not coming as quickly because of the tariffs and the taxes. And if it is, you're going to experience, I would say, an increase in having to have those shipments arrive at your store, and if they do arrive. So we know that we have a lot of work to do, and we're fighting hard here at the County of Los Angeles to make sure that we're protecting our hardworking families, all of them. We have many families that are also run by U.S. citizens and also by people who have mixed status, and some that are also may not be full citizens, but they have been operating their businesses for many, many years. And today you're going to hear from a few of them that are receiving these grants that we're providing today. I want to say that in the motion that I passed last year, the Small Business Resiliency Fund directed a report also that that report actually give us the information to tell us what the impact has been on our economy. And I think that's what's really important, because that's what's guiding us today. It isn't just that Hilda's getting calls or people are getting calls and they're complaining because business is going wrong. No, we actually have data and we have actual information to back all of that up. And today I'm so proud that Stephen Chung is with us today, our Los Angeles Economic Development Corporation, who conducts many of these types of analysis and has been for many years. And we have been partners, always identifying small businesses, medium size, and what their contributions are. Not only the negativity that's happening right now because they're not able to produce at maybe 150% capacity, but we know that when good times are good, that they actually help to provide resources that help to provide those taxes that help to pay for many of the services that the county provides. And that's what I think is really important. So when you wreak havoc on small businesses in that way, you're also impacting the services that the county provides. And that means that we have less dollars to provide the kinds of services, because every dollar that's invested in small businesses gets recirculated. Somebody else is going to use that to go to the other store or buy supplies or be able to do more things. That's how economics works, when it is working. And right now we know that we have to do everything we can. So the county set this fund up because we knew that we were going to be hit hard by the ICE raids, and we know it's going to continue. And we continue to see a stagnation in our workforce. We don't see a lot of people getting hired. We see a lot of people losing jobs, and many aren't even going to the unemployment lines. Many people in our community don't even qualify for that. So you can imagine the enormous burden that we're having to face, and therefore more people are coming to get assistance from the county as well. So we have to look at ourselves and look at our neighbors and respect them, and also help them out in this time of need. So I want to just give you a little bit of background. The first round of the funding went out back in December, and that was about $1.3 million that went to small businesses. Well, it was so successful, folks, that guess what? The demand was so great that we couldn't even fulfill all of the applications that came in. So today we are allocating another $3.6 million to more than 850 businesses across the county as part of round 2. Okay, so we know that the need is there. And I am deeply, deeply grateful to our DEO, our Department of Economic Opportunity, and our partners for ensuring that these funds reach those small businesses now more than ever. Funding for the Small Business Resiliency Fund came from the county's Care First Community Investment Program that has been established now for several years. But still, that wasn't enough. We still know we need to do more. The need is so great. That's why we're doing the second round today. And I want to tell you that in my district alone, the first district that I represent, we had 146 eligible small businesses that were left unfunded. So we had people that signed up that were eligible, but we didn't have enough money to spread that out. So today, what I'm doing is I am giving an allocation of $649,000 of my own discretionary funding that I have, and I will send that to DEO, Department of Economic Opportunity, and they are ensuring me that those 146 applicants that didn't receive funding will now get that. And guess what? The check is out today. This is the first time I'm hearing the county turn something around so quickly and with such magnitude, because we know that the enormity of this, the problems and challenges that our businesses are facing is severe. And we're going to keep seeing this. I think we have an obligation to do also for individuals and I would hope even some of our entrepreneurs, our big corporate friends that work with us, they employ 2 or 3 different subsidiaries, smaller providers, small businesses. Have they turned around and said, how can I help you so that we keep our businesses going in the right direction? Those are things that have to be asked. So briefly, en español, me da bastante gusto anunciar la segunda ronda de fondos para pequeños negocios afectados por las acciones de inmigración del gobierno de Trump. El Fondo de Resiliencia empezó el año pasado en respuesta de las redadas. Muchos vecinos han sido detenidos por hombres con máscaras y pistolas sin identificación. Durante este tiempo, personas han sido sacadas de sus casas, calles, paradas del bus, parques, y también en sus negocios. Y esto también daña a los pequeños negocios, da daño a nosotros. Y también un temor. Menos trabajadores y menos clientes significa menos dinero para los negocios. Las políticas del gobierno de Trump también han dañado a muchos pequeños negocios. Los recortes de impuestos son más para los ricos en vez de los pequeños negocios. Las tarifas de Trump han subido los precios para muchos negocios también. No les alcanza los fondos. Muchos negocios tienen que despedir empleados o cerrar sus puertas. Esto deja muchas de las familias y negocios en muchos problemas. Niños, padres y dueños de negocios luchan por vivir cada día y a ver que lo que está pasando es mal. Es un mal tiempo para ellos. Más de 1,000 negocios pidieron apoyo de este fondo. La primera ronda dio más de 1,367,000 negocios. Hoy vamos a dar $3,600,000 a más de 850 negocios en la segunda ronda. Pero no hay suficiente dinero, como les estaba diciendo en inglés. En mi distrito, 146 negocios no recibieron fondos porque no los alcanzó. Pero hoy día yo estoy poniendo nuestros fondos $649,000 para esos propios negociantes. Y hoy ha oído que les van a dar y va a hacer estos cheques hoy día para estos negocios que ahorita están en temor por no saber si van a recibir estos fondos. Y me da bastante gusto que ustedes están aquí, que podemos anunciar estos fondos. Y ahorita quiero presentar este cheque que va a ir I want to present this check to Los Angeles County Department of Economic Opportunity for $649,000 to help us get to those remaining businesses that we knew fell out and were not able to be funded. But today, this check, the money is going out to those businesses. So please give her a big round of applause and her staff. They are doing tremendous work. Okay, I'm going to turn it back to you now. We have more speakers here. Thank you.
All right, thank you everyone. My name is Kelly Lobianco, Director of the LA County Department of Economic Opportunity, and we are so grateful for the Supervisor for this edition today, but for your leadership in the wake of the immigration enforcement action and the steadfast support for our small business community. I also want to thank a couple of our businesses who are recipients of the Small Business Resiliency Fund who are in the audience today. Gerardo and Maria Davila from Taqueria Amica, thank you for being here. Karen Madrid from Karen 504 Fruits. Christina Ibarra and Armando Torres from Adonarm Flowers. Thank you so much for being here. I want to share a few details about the Small Business Resiliency Fund and other efforts from the county. This fund, inspired by the Board of Supervisors, is a tool to offer immediate financial relief in the face of fear, uncertainty, and economic disruption from continuous immigration enforcement action for our small businesses. Our county, especially our immigrant owners and neighbors, continue to bear the weight of this disruption to their normal operations and well-being today, from property damage and inventory damage, workforce shortages, and revenue and traffic loss. This fund offers between $2,500 and $5,000 to small businesses, including brick and mortar, sidewalk vendors, independent contractors, and some customer-facing home-based businesses who have less than 100 employees and $6 million in revenue, and have experienced direct impacts from the uptick in enforcement actions. We opened this fund with our partners at AidKit in September of last year, and within a short window, we had 3,400 applicants and 1,600 that met the basic criteria. We know this demonstrates great need and also the excellent partnership we have with trusted community-based organizations like LEAF, ICON CDC, and CRCD, who offer in-community and multilingual support to those applying. We saw applications come in from all corners of the county, including areas experiencing the greatest enforcement actions and impacts like downtown LA, South LA, Pico Rivera, Panorama City, Bell, and beyond. These areas are detailed in the economic impact study we released last month with LAEDC, which my colleague Stephen Chung will share more about after this. We also saw concentrations in retail, food and accommodations, and construction, industries that employ huge and diverse workforces and matter to our economy. We are proud today to have award round 2, $3 million to 726 businesses, marking $4.5 million to more than 1,093 businesses in total. And now, as you just heard, over $5 million to over 1,100 businesses. Thank you to the supervisor for her additional contribution today. As she mentioned, all of these awards are out now to small businesses. We started with those most impacted, our legacy businesses, and those with the least resources at their disposal to recover. While these funds might offset recent losses and help meet payroll and rent, we know that much more is needed. At DEO, we are continuing to work with the board and the County Office of Immigrant Affairs, also here, and you'll hear from shortly, to promote safety information with red cards, small business toolkits, and Know Your Rights sessions, and access to legal aid through Represent LA and paid work with Youth at Work. We look forward to supporting additional businesses, the over 1,100 that we're talking about today, but many more throughout the county that have been impacted, and making sure that we're working with partners in philanthropy and beyond to continue to close the gap in access to funding. So thank you for being here today to cover this important topic. And now I look forward to bringing up Stephen Chung, Executive Director of the Los Angeles County Economic Development Corporation, to talk about our economic impact study and the work they're doing here in this moment. Thank you.
Thank you, Kelly. Good morning, everyone, and thank you, Chair Solis, Director Lobianco, Director Cabajo, and our partners across Los Angeles County for your leadership in supporting the small business community. At the Los Angeles County Economic Development Corporation, our mission is simple: to build an economy that works for everyone. That means understanding what powers our economy and responding when the foundation is disrupted. Last month, LADC worked closely with the county to release a report examining the economic impacts of federal immigration enforcement actions here in Los Angeles County. The findings were clear and significant. Immigrant workers, including undocumented workers, are deeply woven into the fabric of our regional economy. Our analysis shows that undocumented workers alone contributed approximately $253.9 billion in economic output, representing about 17% of LA County's total GDP. Their work supports more than 1.06 million jobs across industries, generating over $80 billion in labor income every single year. These workers are present across critical sectors: construction, manufacturing, hospitality, retail, and also services. They're employees, entrepreneurs, caregivers, and small business owners. In many neighborhoods, they are the backbone of local community corridors. So when immigration enforcement action creates sudden disruptions, whether through workforce loss, customer declines, or public safety curfews, the economic ripple effects move quickly through the rest of our communities. Our report examined one such disruption, the June 2025 curfew in downtown Los Angeles. Even just over several days, we estimated that the curfew resulted in approximately $840 million in lost economic output, nearly 4,000 job years of lost employment, and more than $300 million in lost labor income. Those numbers represent real businesses, family restaurants, neighborhood shops, street vendors, childcare providers trying to keep their doors open. That is why programs like the Small Business Resiliency Fund are so important. Today's announcement of $5.1 million in support of reaching over 1,100 small businesses sends a powerful message. When our communities face unexpected shocks, Los Angeles County shows up. These grants help businesses stabilize, keep workers employed, pay rent, restock inventory, and also continue serving their neighborhoods. Just as important, they recognize that small businesses are essential infrastructure in our communities. But this work also reminds us of a broader lesson. The strength of the Los Angeles economy comes from the diversity of the people who power it. Protecting that economic engine means supporting entrepreneurs and workers who keep our neighborhoods vibrant. LADC is proud to partner with the county, community organizations, and business leaders to ensure that our economy remains resilient, inclusive, and opportunity-rich. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Stephen. And now I'm happy to bring up Rafael Carbajal, Director of the Department of Consumer and Business Affairs, and who has oversight of the Office of Immigrant Affairs as well. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. Buenos dias. Rafael Carvajal. I have the honor and privilege of leading the Department of Consumer and Business Affairs, where we proudly house the Office of Immigrant Affairs and the Office of Labor Equity, where we house the county's worker protections programs. So as we continue to witness the ongoing federal immigration raids and unlawful enforcement tactics, which have created a climate of fear in Los Angeles County and the nation, disrupting daily lives and impacting our regional economy, we are also witnessing a systematic dismantling of programs and services that have helped marginalized communities move from poverty to middle class. A series of federal policy changes, including restrictions on access to student loans and higher education, limits on SBA-backed capital for small businesses, the deprofessionalization of certain careers, and the archaic housing policies destabilize our communities day in and day out. These are collectively destabilizing not only our immigrant families, but our broader economy by weakening our workforce, our entrepreneurship, and long-term economic growth. Highlighting how important programs like the Small Business Resiliency Fund is critical. I am very proud of the partnership, the county, and this partnership that centers our communities, our businesses, our workers, supporting their success and recognizing their value rather than trying to tear our communities down. En español, bien pronto a ver si me sale. Como hijo de padres inmigrantes que vinieron a esta nación para mejorar a su familia, que ellos lucharon para empezar su propio negocio, una carnicería y una taquería, reconozco el valor de estos tipos de programas. En este momento, donde en esta nación están tratando de atacar a nuestra comunidad, estoy muy orgulloso de este condado, de nuestra supervisora, de este partnership con el Departamento de Economic Opportunity y este programa donde estamos centrando el valor de nuestra comunidad y nuestra gente en vez de tratar de deshabilitar nuestra comunidad. Por eso agradezco a la supervisora y al condado y los negocios que están aquí presentes. Gracias.
Thank you so much, Rafael. And now we would love to bring up some small business owners who are recipients of the Small Business Resiliency Fund to give a few remarks. So I'd like to invite up Gerardo and Maria Davila from Taqueria Amica. So thank you so much for being here and sharing your story with us.
Buenos días, mi nombre es Gerardo Dávila, ella es mi esposa María Dávila. Juntos hemos logrado mantener un negocio aproximadamente el 4 de mayo, cumpliremos 30 años con él, cosa que no ha sido fácil, pero para nosotros lo más difícil ha sido el último año 2025 y lo que va de este año. Han sido tiempos muy difíciles porque afortunadamente y desafortunadamente nosotros trabajábamos negocio familiar. Cuando mis hijos estuvieron con nosotros nos ayudaban. Ellos ya tomaron su propio camino, nos quedamos solos los dos. Por eso pienso que el motivo de estar en este negocio todavía es porque solo yo y ella trabajamos los dos. No habíamos visto tiempos tan difíciles desde que iniciamos este negocio hasta hoy últimamente. Y es algo que nosotros hemos recorrido a estos fondos de ayuda gracias por dos ocasiones, gracias a la supervisora Hilda Solis también por esto. Después de la pandemia fue la primera vez que yo recurrí a este tipo de ayuda. Sí nos ayudó muchísimo y estamos luchando por seguir ahí porque por el área nosotros ya hay mucho negocio cerrado y nosotros queremos seguir siendo parte del este de Los Ángeles para seguir sobreviviendo. Muchas gracias por su apoyo a todos y queremos seguir con nuestro negocio.
Sí, seguimos luchando ahí. Pues solo agradecer a la señora Solis ahí, a todos por su ayuda y pues seguimos ahí adelante con la ayuda y con el trabajo que estamos ahí con la comunidad ahí y ya tenemos, pues ya los hijos ya no quieren trabajar ahí, ya todos agarraron su camino Y pues seguimos ahí a ver lo que duremos también. Muchas gracias.
At this time, queremos a presentar a ustedes este cheque para su negocio de $5,000 para ayudarles otra vez. Que siguen luchando porque ustedes ya tienen más de 30 años con su negocio. They have more than 30 years in their business, and they were saying how they have spent so much time with their family working at this at their taqueria, and now they are left as two individuals because the children have moved on in their careers, but they're still proud and they're still vigilant and resilient, just like the fund. And we're so happy to give them another round of funding to continue what they are. They're an anchor in el este de Los Ángeles, ¿verdad?
Yeah.
In East Los Angeles, so it's well deserved. Thank you. Muchas gracias.
Muchas gracias.
Véngase por acá. Sí, para que salga su esposo también. Ellos son los héroes. They're the heroes.
And we're just going to do one more photo for Adonarm Flowers. If you come up here. You're there.
Did you want to say something really quick? No? You want to say something on the microphone? Just talk a little bit about.
Good morning, everyone. Buenos días a todos. Las únicas palabras que tenemos es muchas gracias por toda su ayuda que nos han dado. Como mencionaron los compañeros, es nuestra segunda ocasión también que nos ayudan. Gracias, señorita Hilda Solis, por toda su ayuda. Y estamos para servirles cuando gusten también. Alguna ocasión que ustedes necesiten de nuestros servicios, con todo gusto estamos para ayudar a la comunidad. Muchas gracias a todos. Thank you, everyone.
You want to tell them in English? Brevemente, a ver, ya, usted sabe.
Okay, my name is Armando Torres. My wife is Cristina Ibarra. I have a flower shop in the East LA. Thank you, Hilda Solis, for your support. Thank you, everyone, for help the small business. Thank you so much. And sorry, my English not is really well, but thank you so much, everyone.
We're very happy. How many years? ¿Cuántos años?
I have 9 years in the business. I know it's not like 30 years, but I have 90 years. Only the difficult times is last 2 years. Yeah, like the pandemic and right now for the immigration. Desafortunadamente, in East LA, I don't have too many customers because immigration is scared to people. Anytime when you go over there, you see the street is empty. No family, no people. And the school, only the kids, no fathers, no mothers. But this is the happening in the community. Yeah.
Gracias.
Thank you.
We want to present you also with the check for $5,000 so you continue to do your business and anything we can do. The county, we thank the county, the DEO, all of our programs, our Office of Immigrant Affairs. Everybody has worked so hard to make sure that we get this funding directly to the people who need it the most.
Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you so much to all of you. That concludes our speakers at this time, and so we will open it up to questions for the department, the supervisor, and our colleagues. Hi.
Yeah, one question. You said you've run out of funding in your conference. You're looking for more funding. Will applicants that already received grants be able to apply again if the need comes?
Right now, the applications are closed for this fund because we are already oversubscribed. I think we have 500 businesses that we still need to fund as part of this program. We opened the applications up in September, and they were only open for a short window. So we know that the need far exceeds even this grant program because immigration enforcement actions have been ongoing and continuous to this time. So we look forward to working with the county and our partners to identify additional programming like this and funding to continue to support the communities.
We're one of the few counties in the country, the nation, that is actually doing this. people are now calling to see how they can use this as an example to be utilized in places as far as Minnesota and other parts of the country. And that's what we want to encourage. What you can learn from us here at LA County should be shared throughout the country. And it's only by giving information out are we going to learn how we can help each other. And other county municipalities and states can be doing the same thing. And we'll also be asking our state, our governor, and our legislators to also help us in this manner, because our constituents are their constituents. So we all need to work in tandem. Thank you.
And the one last thing I'll mention, because the Small Business Resiliency Fund is closed and we're looking for additional dollars to close the gap, folks that are looking for capital, small businesses who need grants and loans now for their business for growth and startup, can still work with the Department of Economic Opportunity, and will identify additional sources either through us or through local, state, and federal partners. Yeah, so the funding for this Small Business Resiliency Fund is county dollars through our Care First Community Investment, and thanks to the Supervisor, Solis. As of today, during this press conference, the second round of funding, including the announcement that the Supervisor made for the additional 146, those award notifications are all out. And so we will work with the 11, there's over 800 small businesses that are part of this round too. And they can they either can receive direct access, direct deposit awards, or come to our Office of Small Business and we'll get them checks.
Does that 800 mean that the 3.6 million is expended?
Exactly. The full 5.1 from rounds 1, 2, and the Supervisor's investment is all expended at this point.
And the 146 that were left out because there wasn't enough funding in the first district is now going to be funded, and that's going out this minute as we speak.
Right.
Yeah.
Your portion.
Yes.
What's that number again?
It's 146. It's 649,000. So it's more than $500,000.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. There's about a $1.5 million to $2 million gap in our ability to fund the businesses who are eligible for this program and who have already applied.
You guys be tracking like data on how this is having an impact on those businesses and how it's helping?
We are balancing the sensitivity of this moment in gathering information around businesses who are receiving the awards, as well as trying to learn if this fund is truly meeting the impact that the Los Angeles County Economic Development Corporation's report shared. So what we do know so far is that we have broad reach in the county. So definitely a concentration of awards in those communities most impacted, particularly in the first district where the curfew was. Impacts in construction and food and accommodation and retail. And we will be doing a survey in April too to learn more about, one, the impacts and how folks will use the funds to keep their doors open. So more to come.
So, as the Office of Immigrant Affairs has partnered with DEO to put this program together, like Kelly shared, we are cognizant of the sensitivities around the data that is collected and what isn't collected. Our department is also responsible for the current administration of the rent relief program that our board graciously put together. We're distributing over $40 million worth of rent relief. We're actively distributing that right now. We took the same approach in opening up the application to our tenants here in the LA County community, being cognizant of the needs of the community and the need to balance the acquisition of data and impact. We know the impact will be impactful because we know people are struggling, people are hurting right now. We see it day in, day out that our communities are spending too much on rents. And that's all in part contributed to the impact on our economy as we destabilize workers. They're unable to pay for the rent. They're able to pay for their mortgages, impacts their kids, impacts their health. So a combination of all these strategies that the county has put together is our effort to try to center our communities and support them during this very hard time.
In addition to legal defense.
Yeah, absolutely. So within our department, we also administer the Represent LA program. I'm proud that since its inception, we've helped over 24,000 immigrant community members receive services, access legal services, and access other resources. We've been working to continue to raise funds. This has been a model that the nation has been looking at, has been trying to be replicated in other areas. Very proud of the risk that Supervisor Solis and this board took in initiating that program, which has now become a model nationwide. And they continue to invest in this program because we recognize the value of our community.
Any questions for you? They're asking if we are going to get more funding to be able to help those that any new applicants. And
That is our effort.
bueno, vamos a tratar a seguir visitando pues áreas donde podemos recoger más fondos con el gobierno o con grupos cívicos o otros, pero también les voy a decir que ahorita en este momento tenemos otros programas que se ofrece el Departamento de Economía y Oportunidad, y ellos también, si van a la página de ella, pueden ver también cómo pueden recoger más fondos y ayuda. Pero les quiero decir que ahorita hay mucho necesidad y no tenemos los billones de dólares que queremos, pero vamos a tratar siguiendo a luchar y para a ver si el gobierno estatal nos puede ayudar más. Y también a las corporaciones y grupos que ayudan a grupos comunitarios, porque también ellos existen también, como el California Foundation, que también nos ha ayudado, y otros grupos también. Pero ahorita les quiero decir muy claramente que estamos aquí hoy día para celebrar un poquito con los negocios que hoy día van a recibir estos fondos directamente. Por mí, ellos son los héroes. Ellos son las personas que dan de todo su corazón para vivir y también estimular la economía. Y tenemos que ayudar a ellos. Gracias. Sí, sí, porque vamos a tener listas para saber cuáles personas califican y todo eso. Y cuando se llegan más fondos, podemos a distribuir esos fondos también. Sí, y también hay otros fondos que vamos a dar para las personas que ahorita necesitan ayuda para pagar su renta. Y eso es muy importante también porque muchos negociantes, personas, también no les alcanza para pagar la renta. Entonces eso también es una forma para ayudar a ellos también que tienen negocios. Con la oficina de consumidores, a ver, díganles. Señor Cabajal.
Pueden visitarnos en nuestra página dcba.lacounty.gov. Ahí pueden encontrar información sobre todos nuestros programas para hipotecas y para renta, para trabajadores también y para dueños de casa. Tenemos programas para ayudar ahí. También nos pueden llamar a 1-800-593-8222. Tenemos personas que hablan en español y otros lenguajes que les pueden ayudar y conectarlos con otros servicios. Si no los podemos ayudar nosotros, conectamos con otros partners que sí les pueden ayudar. 800-593-8222.
Si no, hablan en el número 211-211 y pueden hablar en español pidiendo también este informe. Ahí hay personas también que les habla en su idioma si piden esa ayuda. ¿Okay? Por toda la comunidad, no solamente en mi distrito, pero en el condado.
One additional thing I'll add for the Department of Economic Opportunity, if folks want to learn more about how to connect, opportunity.lacounty.gov, as well as /immigration, and you'll find all the resources that we have available now for immigrant workers and businesses. And while I did want to second what the supervisor said, we are looking to close the gap for the hundreds of businesses that have shared that they have direct impacts from immigration enforcement action. Other businesses may be eligible for grants that are also open right now. There is capital available. There's a Sidewalk Vendors Formalization Grant and CART program. So sidewalk vendors who are looking to start up and operate with the county can access up to $5,000 and a no-cost CART. And we also have a program called the Launch Grant, the Small Business Mobility Fund Launch Grant, which is also up to between $5,000 and $10,000. So thank you.
Gracias. Ahí terminamos. Thank you. Thank you all.